Why films like Stree 2 become hits? The best ghost films don't reveal the ghost right away. Instead, they tease the audience with jump scares throughout, only potentially showing the ghost at the very end. This suspense combined with light-hearted moments is what made Stree a hit. In Stree 2, however, the ghost is shown from the very beginning itself and the film's social themes are made immediately obvious. Unlike in the first film, where characters like those played by Rajkumar Rao and Pankaj Tripathi were gradually introduced and developed, Stree 2 leaves nothing new to discover. The characters, while played by talented actors, simply reprise their roles from the first film without any new development or depth. We see no growth or change, they remain the same as they were in the first movie. The sequel could have delved deeper into these characters, but instead it heavily relies on jokes and gags, many of which feel forced. In fact, only two moments in the film struck me as genuinely funny. The film also leans heavily on effects similar to those seen in Marvel or modern spy films, where a star appears suddenly in the middle of the movie with lots of flair but has little impact on the plot. This is exactly what happens in Stree 2. There are numerous cameos, but none significantly affect the story. In the first film, there was no sensational entry of any character, but Stree 2 is full of them. It seems like the filmmakers wanted to create a horror comedy but also aim to turn into a franchise because it is more profitable. This trend of marvelizing cinema, in my opinion, is one of the worst things to happen to films. Even big stars now join popular franchises to claim a hit, knowing it's almost guaranteed. For example, actors like Akshay Kumar appear in these movies but play no substantial role. Earlier, such roles were reserved for character actors, but now it seems that big stars, whose solo hits have become less frequent, are eager to be part of films that are sure to be hits. This franchising has made films more mediocre. Despite all its flaws, one could argue that Stree 2 is still a decent movie. However, the timing of its release, the goodwill from the first film, and the brilliant ensemble cast are the real reason behind its success. To call it a great movie, however, would be an overstatement. The social message. Unlike in Stree, the social message in this film is too obvious and on the nose. If at the beginning the filmmakers had shown women disappearing alongside men being brainwashed against women, it could have better set the stage for our Desi ghostbusters to investigate what's wrong in their town. Then, as they search for the reason behind the women's disappearance and the brainwashing of men, they could have discovered that the Sarkata is responsible for all this. This approach would have allowed for a more nuanced storytelling, but instead everything is made too obvious from the start. I suspect that if another sequel is made, there will be fewer scares and more grand hero entrances, as every Nepo kid wants a big entrance with a dramatic background music. It makes you wonder why, apart from Irfan Khan and Heather, non-star actors rarely get such grand entries. And then the PR of these Nepo actors make it seem like the movie's success is entirely due to them. Watching Stree 2, I never felt like that the social issue which felt genuine in the first film was as authentic in the sequel. While the filmmakers capture some of the essence of small town India, the film doesn't truly explore the key issues faced by men and women in small towns. These issues could have added depth to the characters, such as dealing with unemployment or exploring why all the boys in the gang are still single. Rajkumar Rao's character even falls in love with a ghost, and Pankaj Tripathi's character is a middle-aged man who is unmarried and still in love with his ex-flame. It could be suggested that due to lack of opportunities, the men in small towns remain unmarried, but these aspects are never explored. The film also doesn't delve into how patriarchy is practiced in small town. It's not just men who under the influence of patriarchy try to control women, but women also do this to other women. The film had much more potential, especially if more effort had gone into the writing. I might come across as a harsh critic of the movie, even though it was an okay watch. But does this film have the rewatch value that Stree Part 1 had? Only time will tell. Anyway, I have said what I wanted to say. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye bye.